Hey everybody, and welcome to 5 Minutes with Brian. Wow, my hair's kind of a mess today, kind of a crazy mess. Hey, I wanted to quickly circle back around and do a very short video. Basically, what I want to do today is a book review. I sort of mentioned this a little bit in the interview I just did with Mark Rainey. If you have not checked out that interview, go back and check it out. Mark Rainey is, he's a man, the myth, the legend. He's a force to be reckoned with. He's a name that's very recognizable, especially out here on the East Coast. Really great writer, by the way. Really great writer. Definitely check it out. I haven't read. So he's got a book coming out. I haven't read it yet, but I will get around to it. The thing is, I want to actually get a physical copy from him because I do like to read physical copies of books rather than in getting them in ebook version. I mean, I don't mind ebook versions; they're fine. But I don't know. I like the old school feel, which brings me to Brian Kozecki's and Chris Pisano wrote a book called Satan's Petting Zoo, and that is actually it's actually backwards there in the image, isn't it? Maybe it's right when I get the recording done. Satan's Petting Zoo by these two wonderful gentlemen. By the way, Brian, I see him all the time when I go to certain fairs. We do the local con circuit out here out east together. So whenever we're all together in a group, we say there's more Brians running around than normal, which is great. Okay. The best way to characterize this, it's sort of like Revenge of the Nerds meets Lycanthropes. A bunch of teenagers fresh out of high school going to college for the first time. They are the nerd class. These are the guys who are bullied by the jocks and the other people. And the one of them finds gets sort of tired of being bullied and gets offered the opportunity to do something about it. He's offered this opportunity through a group of people that he knows, known as the Inkstains, by the way. And they end up turning him into a lycanthrope, but not a lycanthrope you would think. So not like a werewolf or something cool like that. No, he becomes a bunny. Yeah, he becomes a bunny, and the reason he becomes a bunny is pretty interesting. Now, he has allies. There's the whole force of friendship throughout the book. His friends are his allies. He is his friend's ally. They do stay together. There's also a couple other kind of how shall we say unlikely friends, unlikely allies that sort of come to his aid as things move along. Now for me to be, it's very well written, very well edited, very well put together. Loved the story. For me personally, it started a tidge slow. That's the only thing I will say. But once it does get bubbling, and it takes a little bit. There's a little bit of background that you need, sort of showing the relationship between the characters before things really get rolling along. But once things get going, oh boy, it's kind of a wild ride. And I think anybody who's been in high school has been bullied. You're kidding me, authors? We get bullied? You're kidding, right? But I think once things get rolling, it's quite a ride. Not a very long read, by the way. And I always qualify reads not by the length. When I say something's not a very long read, I'm not referring to the length. I'm actually referring to my desire to want to pick it up and read it again. So how quickly I get through it. When I'd sit down to read it, I'd be sitting there an hour, 2 hours just reading. So I got through this quite fast. Satan's Petting Zoo. If you like horror, this is a quirky, little different, fun, quippy, well written. There's some great lines in here. There's some wonderful sarcasm. The characters are very believable, and just fun overall. So anyway, that is the quick book review. I will, of course, do a write up and put this out on Amazon and all those other places. So anyway, that is it for 5 Minutes with Brian. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, and ta ta.